But the Bible tells us that's not really God at all. God comes near. He invites us to know him. And like a bride, he wants us to fall into his arms. See, Jesus doesn't want to just have us obey him because he's a king. And Jesus doesn't just want us to rely on him because he's our shepherd. He is those things. And he is worthy of our obedience because he is holy and because he is Lord. And he is worthy of our cries for help because he is our leader. But we can do those things and believe those things about Jesus and still miss the mark. Because what he wants from us is our hearts. And for those hearts to love him. Imagine a woman has a husband. And that husband's spending all of his time with another woman. He goes over to her place at night, long talks with her. They confide in one another. They even take trips together. So one day, this angry spouse confronts her husband, and he asks back, "What's the problem?" Does anyone here not know what the problem is? But because he's so dense, he goes on. And he says, "Listen, we're legally married. I pay the bills. We have this house. You have my name. You have my money. I do my duty. What more do you want from me?" To which the woman says, "But I don't have your heart. And what good is all that other stuff? What good is this marriage if some other woman has the deepest affections of your heart?" What kind of fool would ask, "What's the problem?" when confronted by their spouse? I'm in danger of being that fool. You're in danger of being that fool. But the spouse is Jesus Christ. You know, I know that sounds so strong. I don't meet anyone who doesn't believe that they're a strong believer who loves Jesus with every fiber of themselves. But it can be chipped away at our hearts so subtly. See, we look at ourselves and we say things like, "Well, I go to church, I pray, I serve, I give some money, I claim the name of Christ and call myself a Christian. What could be the problem?" But what are we in danger of selling our hearts to? Ask yourselves, do I have a different passion? Maybe it could be your job that has your heart. Is it sports or dance or gymnastics or some other activity that has it? Maybe perhaps travel. Maybe it's even something noble, like your kids or your grandkids. Is there something that really gets you going, that you really, really love? You know how you can know? Think about where your mind goes when you don't have anything else to do. How do you spend your solitude? What do you dream about? That's where your heart is. Or think about this, even though I know we don't like to think about it. How do you spend your money? How do you spend your money? All you need to do is have a calculator and do some simple math. And you'll see that the people in this room even people who do love Jesus. Sometimes when it comes to our finances and God, say, I'll go this far, but no further. And when we are questioned on it, we are like that self-righteous spouse who comes back and says, what's the problem? At least I'm here. The problem is that sin isn't just breaking some rules. And avoiding sin isn't just doing some religious things. Sin is loving anything else more than we love God. And when we do, and at times we all do, I do, it breaks God's heart. And it breaks our unity with Him. And the only thing that can turn our fatal attractions around and turn us into brides is the blood of the Lamb, Jesus Christ. Now, to help you understand how that works, let's go to the scene of Jesus' first miracle. We heard about that in our gospel reading from John, because the Bible really is this beautifully crafted book inspired by God Himself. Jesus' first miracle takes place fittingly where? At a wedding. Jesus and His mother are at this great wedding feast, and at the feast He's sitting there, and His mother comes to Him and says, Jesus, we're out of wine.